My name is Natasha Putri. I'm from English Education Department, University of Maritime Raja Ali Haji, and now I would like to tell about intercultural communication. Communication can be defined as the exchange of meaning. This involves the sending and receiving of information between a sender and receiver. This happens not only through the use of the words, but also through non-verbal factors such as a gesture and facial expressions. The message receiver can be very different from the message was sent. The common model for communication is shown in a figure below. Number 1 is a search. The search is the person with an idea he or she desires to communicate. Number 2, encoding. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, humans are not able to share thoughts directly. Your communication is in the form of a symbol representing the idea you desire to communicate. Encoding is the process of putting an idea into a symbol. The symbols into which you encode your thought vary. You can encode your thought into words, and you can also encode thought into non-spoken symbols. Number 3 is message. The same message identifies the encoded thought. Encoding is the process, the verb, the message is the resulting object. Number 4, channel. The same channel is used technically to refer to the means by which the encoded message is transmitted. Today, it's called media. Number 5 is a noise. The term noise technically refers to anything that distorts the message the search encodes. Noise can be many of forms. External noise can be sights, sounds, and the other stimulus that draw your attention away from the message. Internal noise refers to your thought and the feeling that you can interpret with the message. Semantic noise refers to how alternative meanings of the search symbol can be distracting. Next, receiver. The receiver is the person who attends to the message. Receiver may be international, that is, there may be the people the search desires to communicate with, or there may be any person who comes open and attends to the message. Number 8, decoding. Decoding is the opposite process of encoding and just such as much an active process. Next, receiver response. It refers to anything the receiver does after attending to and decode and the message. And next, feedback. It refers to the portion of the receiver response of which the search has knowledge and to which the search attends and assigns meaning. And next, context. Generally, context can be defined as the environment in which communication takes place and which helps define to the communication. Intercultural communication, sometimes used synonymously with a cross-cultural communication. Communication is a form of communication that aims to share information across different cultures and social groups. It's used to describe the wide range of communication process and the problems that naturally appear with an organization made up of individuals from different religious, social, ethnic, and education backgrounds. In this sense, it seeks to understand how people from different countries and culture act, communicate, and perceive the world around them. Many people argue that the culture determines how individuals encode a message, what a medium they choose from transmitting them, and the way messages are interpreted. The problems in the cultural communication usually come from problems in a message transmission. In a communication between people of the same culture, the person who receives the message interprets it based on a value, belief, and expectation from behavior similar to those of the person who sent the message. When this happens, when the way the message is interpreted by the receiver is likely to be fairly similar to what the speaker interpreted. However, when the receiver of the message is a person from a different culture, the receiver uses the information from his or her culture to interpret the message. The message that the receiver interpreted may be very different from what the speaker intended. Now, we're talking about the barriers to intercultural communications. Number one is attitudes. Number two is perceptions. Number three, stereotype. Number four, interpretations. Number five, cultural shock. Number six, and the last one is nonverbal behavior. Next, cultural learning. At the lowest level is the belief that all people are alike. The comes or recognition that they are different and acceptance of the difference, seeing ways of the synthesizing the different ways, selecting and making things run smoothly. Next, dealing with the difference. Use the following statement to reflect on how well suited you are to the international student or employee. How many are true you? Number one, I'm a sociable person and have a lot of friends. Number two, I enjoy travel and learning about a new culture. Number three is I have always been good at learning language. Number four, I enjoy dealing with the ambitious situations. Number five, I'm tolerant of people who disagree with me. Next, I'm prepared to change the plans according to what happens. Next, I'm a good listener. And next, I can cope with the stress. Next, I have experience working abroad. And next, I have a partner or family who is or are also keen in living abroad. And next, I'm a patient when the things don't work out as I want them to. And the last one, I prefer to work in a team rather than on my own. There are two statements you can be honestly agree with. The more suitable you are work in an international context. And next, improving on cultural communications. It's essential that people research the culture and communications confessions of those whom they propose to meet. This will minimize the risk of making the elementary mistakes. It's also prudent to set a clear agenda so that everyone understands the nature and the purpose of the interactions. In interaction with the people from foreign culture, a person who is interculturally competent understands the cultural specific concept or perceptions, thinking, feeling, and acting. The basic requirements from intercultural competence are: number one is break the assumptions. Number two, empathize. Number three, influence. Number four, discourage herd mentality. Then the last one is avoid incentive behavior. Thank you for your attention. Sorry for my mistake. Bye.